Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with
Nerdarchist Ted.
And today we have a GM 911 from Will Gordon, and he's kind of running a criminal gang-based game. You know, some D and mafia style.
So he says that, you know, the group he's playing with is 3 players. They're all high schoolers. It's kind of a silly game. One of the gangs got, you know, basilisks, cockatrices, and gorgons that are under their employee/control, and they're turning people into statues to sell illegally.
Right, as art.
Right.
Which he lifted from one of our videos, which is excellent because that's why we put them out there. So the thing is, like, his main thing is, how does he handle like these multiple gangs and they're interacting and not taking away player agency and not overshadowing the players is what his concern is.
Right. So I would look at this as like each session you could have several bits of things that are going on in the background, and the players have the ability to decide what things they're interested in attempting to thwart. I imagine these guys want to go in, you know, even though it's a silly game, like they're still trying to be the heroes, and therefore...
Well, I don't think they're trying to be the heroes. I think they're trying to be the top gang.
Oh.
Right, you even said, like, you know, avoiding the authorities and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. Wow. Okay, well, I totally missed the... I read it. I totally missed the...
So here's my opinion, right?
Okay.
You have multiple gangs, and he wants to know how much should they interact with the players, and how much should he do with them. My opinion is you don't do anything with the other gangs unless it actually affects the players, right? You totally ignore them. Or the players do something to interact with the other gangs. You don't have to do anything,
right.
You know, unless, like, you decide that, like, you know, as GMs, what we do is we present situations that happen in the world, and then the players can then choose how to react to them. Or sometimes as GMs, we react to what the players do. So, like, you don't actually have to know what all the gangs are doing. It's not relevant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really, you know, unless you have some kind of timeline that's progressing or whatever. But even then, it's not really that relevant because the game revolves and always should and will always revolve around the players. So unless you want an element from one of those other gangs to appear before the players, you don't actually have to worry about it. Or unless the players do something to bring, you know, another gang into their view, into their sight. You know, it's like, think about like any game you've played that has the fog of war. Anything in the blackness doesn't matter. It's only the
gray.
Well, the dark gray, whatever color it is. The only thing that matters is what's been revealed to the players.
Right.
You know, that other stuff matters in the sense if you're going to bring it in later or you're going to foreshadow it. But literally, like, everything can really, like, sit in stasis and limbo until it's time to be revealed to the players.
Right. So that is a great way for keeping it focused on the players without there being the obvious, well, these guys are going to climb higher in the ranks. To make things a little bit easier for you as the DM, what I would wind up doing, you know, he said there's multiple gangs. So for this example, let's just suppose there's 3, and, you know, one of them is the gang that the players are in. So I'm going to take gangs B and C, and I'm going to put, for every session, I'm going to have 3 things that they might be doing if the players look in on it. So you've got some idea. Don't plan it all out. Don't go through and make maps and encounters for every single one of these ideas. It's too painstaking. It's too much extra work, especially for more of a slapstick style game that you're looking to run. But if they say, okay, well, I'm going to go look at Gang B, and it's like, well, it looks like, you know, they're doing sentence 1 and they're doing sentence 2. You know, would you want to try and thwart that to stop their rise and to stop their, you know, accrual of power? But if they don't look in on it, well, then it's there for next time. You don't have to plan anything else.
Right, or if you're doing something like word on the street, you know, this is going down, and then they can decide if they want to figure it out or not. Yeah. Like, you might even just take each gang and write down, like, just a couple sentences about what they're about, you know, what their primary objective is.
Yes,
you know, where do they operate? Like, you could do an outline for each gang, and, you know, really, it only requires a couple sentences.
Yeah.
just enough for you to have an idea. Like if the players run into go into the west side of town, they may run into the Happy Jack Killers. If they go into the east end of town, it might be the goblin faced hooligans. Well, it could be theirs too. They're in the north. But so you just have like, okay, the name of the gang. You might have the name of the leader, or a couple other NPCs that you want to put into it. You don't have to even flush them out if you don't want to, and you just like, okay, this is their main thing. Like, if the Goblin Face Hooligans, if they're drug dealers, you might want to write down, what are their drugs that they generally sell. If the Happy Jack Killers, if they're more like extorters, you might want to put like prominent businesses or whatever they're being extorted by them, but and that'll serve double duty because then you're also creating, places for your players to go and interact with, possibly buying goods or selling goods, or NPCs that they can become friends with that aren't directly involved with the gangs or they don't wish to be.
Right.
So that's kind of how I would handle it.
Some good stuff. If you guys have any additional feedback for running this mafia gang style game for Will, put your thoughts down below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
You can even jump down to the description and jump on the newsletter, put your email in, your name in, and you're going to get weekly tips as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
So until next time, stay nerdy.